Now, proudly South Africa's flagship event, the annual Buy Local Summit and Expo, is celebrating its 12th edition this year. The event has grown exponentially over the years into a two-day showcase, including multiple elements as well as a large target audience. The event is currently underway at the Sandton Convention Centre. Sakina is there to tell us a little bit more about what to expect. So, SK, good morning to you. Talk to us about the summit. How's it looking?
Well, good morning, Leanne. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sandton Convention Centre. As you say, this is one of those events much anticipated on the local calendar, especially as it pertains to our South African initiative, to make sure that we market who we are, but also the products that we have in our country, not only amongst ourselves, but also internationally. But of course, so many things happen here. It's not just the exhibitions around us, which we'll show you some of later on during the broadcast, but it's also discussing key issues and some of the elements that, of course, many of these exhibitors have to contend with on a daily basis. It is proudly South African. It is about localization in the main, in order to try and encourage people to buy local, because not only does that stimulate our economy, but of course it also creates jobs, which is of course something that the country is really struggling with. Well, to help me unpack some of the more pertinent issues, I'm joined by the CEO of Proudly South African, and this is Eustace Mashimbye. Thanks so much for your time and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina. Good morning to the viewers.
So here we are again. Perhaps let's just start at the beginning in terms of the objectives of this particular summit and expo. And I try to touch on some of the key points, but of course there is a lot more to this.
Yeah, no, there's much more to this. As a campaign, because our mandate is really centered around ensuring that those who make purchasing decisions choose locally made products every day when they buy. This conference, even the theme, talks to the fact that all sectors of society have an opportunity to contribute to the creation of jobs and the growth of the economy through localization. And so what we're going to cast a spotlight on is what can be contributed by the private sector, what can be done by us as ordinary consumers, and what the public sector can do by way of making sure that they create an environment that is conducive and enables those who are making products and rendering services in the country to be able to really prosper and help us grow the economy.
So with regard to localization, we always talk about SMMEs and how that is the lifeblood of any economy, and especially ours, in trying to kickstart our economy. We've been struggling with that for a while, Eustace. But of course, an event like this is meant to propel that sort of message.
Yeah, no, definitely. In fact, the partnership we have with the Department of Small Business Development, which we centered around the activities on day 2, really seeks to showcase about 60% of what this showcase is really from smaller businesses who are looking for access to market opportunities. And so we have a matchmaking program that matches them with big corporates. During today, on day 1, we have private sector entities that are giving localization commitments. And those commitments will then benefit the small businesses, because basically the commitment says we are going to find companies that are producing what we are looking for, what we consume on a day-to-day basis as businesses. And even when previously we bought without giving consideration as to where it comes from, as a private sector, we're going to be deliberate in ensuring that going forward we buy them locally, and there's values attached to it, there are targets that have timelines attached to it in terms of the procurement spend that will be channeled towards these SMMEs who make products locally. And so that is what this conference is about. It's about solid tangibles that we can take away at the end of day 2.
And you speak about values that are attached to how we consume products, and that of course is something that, as Proudly South African, you obviously, champion very strongly. But then there's the reality of the economy in which we operate. And there's all sorts of threats, if you will, all sorts of challenges that exist to buying South African products. How do you mitigate for that?
Look, the biggest thing that we always hear about and we always have to try and counter through our views is the issue around pricing. There's issues around competitiveness, there's issues around quality. So we're not saying blindly to people they must just buy local without necessarily knowing that, we will achieve economies of scale. If we aggregate demand and like we're doing now with all of these commitments, those producers will achieve economies of scale because of the large volumes that will be procured from them. Because of the commitments made to them to say, we'll buy this much from you, they're able to drive down their prices. And so we will be able to reach that price point that people are looking for. Competitiveness has to be paramount. I mean, quality. Proudly South African, you can see behind me, everything about the Proudly SA logo is about quality. The tick tells you that everything that bears the Proudly SA logo is of a high quality nature, and you can trust that it will satisfy the need for which you are buying it as a consumer, irrespective of which part of the society you're coming from. That's what this Expo seeks to do, is to showcase the best of South Africa, which competes with the best of what is out there in the world.
So is it open to everybody? I mean, who and what are you expecting in terms of attendance numbers over the next 2 days?
So it's still open to everybody. It's free to attend. You go to our website, buylocalsummit.co.za or proudlysa.co.za, register. You can come in. The conference only starts at 10:15, so there's still time for people to still make their way here. We're targeting consumers. We're targeting buyers. We have been able to reach over 1,000 buyers who will come in over the next 2 days to come in and find products. But even if you're not a buyer that we're able to get to and schedule an appointment for with some of the exhibitors, you are free to walk in. We have a stand outside with a registration that's dedicated to trade visitors and buyers who are looking for products. So that is who we're inviting. But even consumers, there are a lot of consumer-facing products here on the floor, and all of these guys, create jobs. They need us to support them. So we encourage consumers to come in, find the next brand that you're going to develop an affinity towards, and even beyond this expo, you will continue looking for and buying.
And perhaps someone who has a great idea or great product that they still need funding to bring to realization. Any assistance for them here?
Definitely, lots of assistance. On the other side of the floor from where we are standing, there's a business solutions hub brought to you by the Department of Small Business Development, where the idea is not just for businesses to access funding, but any form of assistance you're looking for, on-site assistance. We're not just giving away flyers and pamphlets and telling you to call us tomorrow, but the entities that are here, both financial and non-financial entities, CEDA, CIFA, NEF, IDC, even SARS is here, the tax ombud. If you have a problem with SARS, you go to the stand next door, you tell them you have a problem, you tell the tax ombud, you have a problem with SARS. So there's that kind of assistance. If you want to register your IP, because you want to protect it, there's assistance here. So the Business Solutions Hub is really tailored to assist small businesses with anything that they require. Obviously, they have processes that you must comply with and requirements, but the Solutions Hub really has funding and non-financial support assistance available to anyone who comes in today.
So there you have it from the CEO of Proudly South African, Eustace Mashimbye there, and what the offering is here at the Sandton Convention Centre. So if you're a small business person, if you're looking for someone to partner with, perhaps a bigger business, if you're looking for solutions, it's all going to happen here. So get up, get out of bed, get dressed and make your way to the Sandton Convention Centre. And of course, we'll be coming back to you after the news a short while later, and we'll take a little bit more in from what's happening here. We'll be speaking to the minister later on. And of course, we'll take a walk and show you what's on offer here at the Sandton Convention Centre. So Proudly South African, buy local. The Expo and Summit taking place today and tomorrow. But with that, it's back to the studio for now.
Looking forward to it. Thanks very much, SK. We'll see you again in the next hour, just giving us an idea of some of the local products that are on display as well, speaking to the minister and the importance of buying local for the economy. It's a massive thing. So we'll get more of those details to you during the broadcast.